God has been very good to me, for I never dwell upon anything wrong which a person has done, so as to remember it afterwards. If I do remember it, I always see some other virtue in that person. Those are the words of Saint Teresa of Avila, born on March 28, 1515, in Avila, Spain, a saint that never gave up on what she believed in or in herself. As a young child, she realized her parents had a difficult marriage, so it made choosing to enter the convent or to get married a difficult decision. Both of her choices had pros and cons, and in the end, she chose to enter the Carmelite convent, which was not a very safe convent. The reason the convent was so unsafe was because the sisters took in women who had no other place to go, even if they were not a nun. At the convent, she was encouraged to have visitors whom would join her in mental prayer. Saint Teresa of Avila was one of the most liked sisters in her convent, and she enjoyed being liked. When she became sick with malaria, it stopped all her prayer completely, because she was never alone and never felt good enough to pray. At the age of 41, she returned to prayer, and she felt like God was levitating her body. For the rest of her life, she continued to found new convents. She believed that the most powerful prayer was a prayer led by actions. She passed away on October 4th, 1582, at the age of 67, and was later canonized as a saint in 1622, just 40 years after her death. Saint Teresa of Avila is the patron saint of headache sufferers and of Spanish Catholic writers, and her feast day is celebrated on October 15th. A servant is a person who works to help another person, and Saint Teresa of Avila did just that. She served God. Saint Teresa of Avila left the option of marriage and children to become a nun. Her early life shows how she was willing to leave one life to live another with God by doing His works. Her life in the convent portrays how she was willing to help God by opening new convents all over Spain. Opening the convents all over the country of Spain was a lot of work for just her, especially when she was excommunicated from the Carmelite. She was excommunicated because she was opening new convents in Spain, and the convent of St. Joseph did not want to have her open new convents, so they threatened an investigation of whether or not she was allowed to open them. Even though she was forced to leave the Carmelite convent, she did not get down on herself. She thought of it as publicity for her new convents and to promote prayer, which is just what it did. She taught all of Europe to pray, and that is when she opened the discalced Carmelite convents all over Spain. Her convents taught a life of mental prayer and poverty, just like she had lived all of her life. Saint Teresa of Avila opening the discalced Carmelite convents showed how she was willing to do God's will. I am pretty sure that I could never do what Saint Teresa of Avila did by opening all the convents in Spain, but there is something I can do. Living a life of mental prayer is something I can try to become better at. I know most people do not have enough time in their lives to pray to God for hours and hours, but just thinking of God and all He has given you is a place to start. We can all thank God for all the things He has given us when we are taking a test and when we all begin to daydream. Taking the extra time in our lives to pray or to be grateful for what we have is a good way everyone can try to become more like Saint Teresa of Avila. She is considered to be a person who works to make a positive difference in the world. Saint Teresa of Avila served her later life to making a difference in the world by helping the people of Europe to pray. She shows that just by trying to do one thing, you can accomplish something greater. that can make a positive difference on our world. Helping the people to pray to God makes a positive difference in our world because everything and everyone needs a prayer. I hope you all enjoyed learning about Saint Teresa of Avila. Thank you.